Alright, so it started raining outside, so I'm going to take this as a good time to talk to you a little bit about the basics. One of the things that I highly recommend is you get yourself a lawn journal. And it's nothing fancy, it could be a regular old notebook, but I picked this up from Staples. With that being said, let me go ahead and spin you around so you can take a look at what I've put together, and that way you could put yourself in a situation where I'm at, where we're avoiding mistakes right out of the gate, and like I said, saving ourselves a bunch of money. Here we go. All right, so here it is, the lawn journal. It's very simple, very easily laid out. It's kind of a combination or a hybrid between a scrapbook and a diary, I suppose, but we'll call it a lawn journal. And basically, what I'll do here in the front folder section, I'll keep things like test results. Now, I don't have too much in this particular journal, but this is going to kick off my new journal for the fall of 2018, kind of moving forward, as I may have described before. But I'll also leave, just because I'm showing this now, and we won't go into all the particulars, but this company that I use, and like I said, there'll be a link in the description below for the Amazon product that I use, and it's a company for that sends you a test kit for $30 to $40 with a prepaid shipping label that, like, within a week or so you can get the results back. But this is really important because above and beyond everything else, you really need to understand what you're working with first. And once you have that, then you can start going into all of the different types of products that will get you going in the direction you want to go. So you don't want to accidentally purchase a product or waste money on a product and then suddenly start sending your soil and your lawn in a direction that is completely adverse to what it is that you're looking to achieve. But anyhow, what's nice about this company is that they send you this results, and it talks about the macronutrients, the micronutrients, the overall health, and the target zone for where they want your soil to be and kind of where you are in the spectrum of the chart that they have sent you. And my favorite part, which is plain and clear, is the type of recommendations here between synthetic or organic, whichever you prefer. And if there's an additional notation, they'll go ahead and provide that at the bottom. So they send you that within about a week or so. It's a great turnaround rate, had a lot of positive results from them. And in addition to that, what I like that they send is, in case you needed a refresher, or when I started doing this, I was a beginner, and basically I would go to each one of these descriptions to understand the importance of why each part of this testing result was important and what I needed to work on. So above and beyond everything else before, like I said already, you really need to have a good base before you can expand forward in achieving the thing that, or the results that you're looking for. So great recommendation, and like I said, I'll put the link to that in the description below so you can find that. One of the things I always like to put at the beginning here is just kind of the core three things: NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And we can go more into depth later about that, but right now it's just about the journal. And so the very first thing that I like to do in a journal is understand your floor plan. What exactly are you working with? How much space? Because everything is done, all of your application rates are done in a 1,000 square foot kind of segment, or a rate, an application rate, a 1,000 square foot application rate. So, going back to your mathematics in grade school, length times width, and it gets a little bit fancier for circles. I won't go into the math now, but after doing a simple kind of sketch floor plan, as you can see, the green around the perimeter here gives me my lawn. This is kind of the $1,000,000 lawn view right there, and then we've got a separate side here that I use for product overflow, as well as my testing ground for new things that I'd like to try to see what kind of turnaround I would get if I was to apply that to my main lawn. So it should be pretty obvious. Here's my house, here's my driveway, a walkway, some landscaping. Now within this front lawn here, the way I have color coded this is that yellow, this whole main area here, is all of the full sun. So it gets 6+ hours of full sun throughout the day. And I just so happen to know that here where the main street is, because I've got blacktop that runs through not only my driveway but the street and then the concrete curb, that it gets really hot along there. And that is a big attribute of what it is that this grass experiences and how I need to respond to that in comparison to these peach colored areas that are part shade or full shade because of either tree coverage or where it is that the sun rises and sets. And one of the nice things about this is that if you don't exactly know where your north, south, east, and west is, and if you happen to have an iPhone like myself, you can go over to this compass, which is why I have laid it out here, and you can lay this out in a way where you can show where the sun rises, so you know that in the morning you're going to have full sun through here, and as your tree coverage comes over, you can see the different shades. And that way, when it comes to applying certain product in the future, you're going to know what it is that you are going to need in certain areas. So this is really important because it's going to tell you kind of where it is that you're going to need to apply certain product in addition to your overall floor plan for the square footage and how much product you're going to apply. So I've got a few other notations here about things we can talk about in the future, but then going into my 2018 fall treatment, based on the test results here that I received, some of the things that I did in my yard step by step, a copy, like I said, semi-scrapbooking here about the application rates, the company that I purchased the product through. Honestly, a lot of what I do, because I've got a Monday through Friday job, I'm an internet purchasing kind of guy. As much as I would like to go to the local landscaping store in the area, honestly, I like to meet new people, and it would be great to get to have a relationship with those folks. But honestly, time is of the essence to me, especially Monday through Friday. And there's only so much time that you can allot to this when you've got family. So family time's important as well. But in the whatever little spare time I have, it's nice to know that you can go to Amazon to get these different products. They can show up at your door, and that way you can go ahead and mix or apply and do the different things that you need to get it out into the yard the way they're intended to be. And then same thing for the seed and the different fertilizer that I used in order to really kind of promote the growth. And this is going to pretty much cap off my fall treatment. Now I'm working with fescue primarily, and so that's really going to go into now. We are experiencing or starting to experience here in late September some of the cooler temperatures, so the fescues are taking off. But let me go ahead and spin you back around, and we can talk a little bit about the final basics before we close out. All right, well, you've seen my lawn journal. Now it's your turn to start yours. So remember, we need to get you going in the direction where you can get your floor plan under control. You can figure out how much you're working with, and that way, with just the simple use of a real tape measure, that you can understand in the future how much product is needed, so you're not wasting time and money, and you're going in the direction to get the lawn that you want sooner than later. So first step, get yourself a scrapbook or journal and start writing in it. Walk about your yard, get a good feel for what it is that you have and that you're working with. Note some attributes about the yard so you can better understand what direction you need to go, or maybe even some of the first steps. A lot of people don't take the time to kind of get down a little bit close to see what it is they're working with, and that way When you get to the point of applying seed, you'll know where your weak areas are, your strong areas are. You'll know where the sun is full and where the sun is part and in shade. And we'll go ahead and I'll put, like I said, down in the description, the link to the soil test company that you can get your test results from. It's very simple to take a core sample or with a shovel or a rake if you absolutely have to put it into a little cup and then send it off, and then you can get your results back so you know exactly what to do right from the get-go. Well, I will go ahead and leave you with that. We can touch more on this in the future, but for now, enjoy the mow, be safe, and I will see you in the yard.